2022 NFL Draft. Looking back, in hindsight, only a year. Some of these players that we think are going to miss could be very good in the NFL. We don't know. But after one season, let's go pick by pick. Pick number 2. Did the Lions make the right choice with Aiden Hutchinson at number 2 overall? Would you have taken another player in that spot, Jeff?
Yeah, they messed up bad. I think, you should have won.
Your sarcasm is horrible.
I know. Yeah, no, they nailed it. Aiden Hutchinson, the best player in the draft, fell to him at 2. They didn't mess it up, and it was unbelievable, man. Just seeing the draft live, too, at Brass Rail, you could really feel in the entire – even though some people were on the edge with Kayvon or Aiden, no one disagreed with the pick. Everyone was happy to have Aiden.
I think the only player you could make a case for is Sauce Gardner.
I would agree. I think Sauce, if you want to make a legitimate argument, that's fine, but I'll take Aiden.
I'm still taking Aiden. I'm taking Give me my pass rusher.
That's the cocaine.
Yep. I need my pass
before
rusher.
The draft. So
pick number 12. This is dicey. I love Jameson Williams' upside. I love it. You saw what he could do just from bits and pieces throughout the season towards the end of it. Explosive, dynamic, big-time playmaker. But you could have had, in the first round, Jordan Davis. You could have had Trent McDuffie. You could have had Devin Lloyd, Dax Hill, George Karlaftis. Notable first-round picks that were very successful their first year in the NFL. I'm going to say, as much as Jordan Davis is enticing, I like the receiver pick. You needed another receiver, and had you told me going into the draft the Lions would end up with Aiden and Jameson Williams, I would have taken both middle fingers. I would have shoved them in your face and told you, get lost. You know why? Because you could have argued before the draft Aiden was the number 1 defensive player coming out, and Jameson Williams was the number 1 offensive player coming out. Jameson Williams tore his ACL. There's a reason why he fell. He fell right to you at 12. You traded up to get him. To be determined, yes, but I don't think I'm ready to say I would change the pick. I'm pretty happy with it.
It's hard.
Trent McDuffie's pulling my heartstrings though.
Oh, I don't. None of these dudes are touching it. Sorry, Jameson Williams to me, if he hits the pinnacle or the ceiling we think he can get to,
well, that's an unknown. I don't know that.
But same with the other players.
But in hindsight of what you've seen so far. That's
the flashes I've seen
with
Jameson are enough to solidify what I thought of him before the draft. But I think I could
make a hard sell for you. I could make a pretty good pitch. You don't have to agree. But I think I could sell you on the idea of Jordan Davis in the interior, or Trent McDuffie lining up at corner instead of Jerry Jacobs, Mike Hughes, and Jeff Okudah. I'm just saying. Again, I would agree. I would stick with the pick. You can't tell me it's a surefire just like Aiden Hutchinson. You can't be that confident.
No,
maybe you are.
Listen, but you can pitch all you want, all right? You could be a door-to-door salesman. I'm still going to slam the door in your face. So I got no problem. Jameson, I get he hasn't played a ton, but the upside, to me, out of all the players you named, Jameson, if he hits what we think he can be, and you're right, you haven't seen a ton, but the value of having a number 1 superstar receiver in this league is everything. More valuable than the players you named, in my opinion. So Jameson, to me, no problem. He's going to be a tremendous player. And so looking back, it's too early, but in 5 years,
just for now,
5 years from now,
definitive.
You'll look back and be like, great pick, in my opinion.
Pick number 46, second round pick. This is where it's interesting. Who would you take, if you would, looking back, over Josh Pascal? And you can only go by who was taken in that round, not someone in the 3rd or 4th or 5th round. In the 2nd round, players that went after Josh Pascal: Jaquan Brisker, of note, Cam Jurgens, George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore, Trey McBride, Drake Jackson, and James Cook, Nick Benito. George Pickens probably the best season among all those players, offensively, defensively. You could pitch me on Sam Williams was pretty solid actually in Dallas.
But he got in trouble with the law.
But it's Jaquan Brisker, sure, but you got Kirby Joseph, and I don't think anybody's changing that one. So honestly, the 2nd round was just meh.
Yeah,
after.
I think that's
before,
fair.
My God. My God. Christian Watson, Roger McCreary, Breece Hall, Jalen Petrie, Edebike, Kyler Gordon, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Andrew Booth, John Mechie, who's injured, obviously, but David Ojabo, all before Josh Pascal. So you were like 3-4 picks away from getting a really damn good player, but in that second round, I don't think I change it. I want to, but I don't think anybody enticing enough on that list.
And I would agree. I think the fact that you got Kirby makes it a little easier to digest. Yeah, so I would agree with you. It's not, it's not. There's no pizzazz with it. It's probably just meh as of right now. But hey, it's more depth on your defensive line, and you've seen some flashes out of Pascal. I gotta wait on that. But so far, it's not like I'm pounding the table to argue Josh Pascal was the perfect pick.
He wasn't the best of the bunch, but the bunch after him in the second round wasn't special either.
The only one I would argue would be Jaquan, but to your point, you got Kirby.
So I gotta take it into consideration. Third round pick. Here we go. This is where it gets fun. In the third round, Detroit selects Kirby Joseph at pick number 97.
And you know how we feel about this. He was in our mock drafts for weeks.
There is nobody. And there's two really good players. Hell, you could even argue three with upside. Brian Robinson Jr., running back out of Washington. Leo Chenal, linebacker in Kansas City. And you can even argue Majai Sanders out in Arizona. Upside. Nothing special. Didn't really dominate his rookie year, but still, beyond the point. I don't think there's anybody in the third round in its entirety. Not Nakobe Dean. Definitely not Malik Willis. Not Greg Duluth. Desmond Ridder. Jelani Woods. Chad Muma. Brian Asamoah. Nobody I would take over Kirby Joseph in the third round. In the third round, in my opinion, Kirby Joseph was the best player selected in the 2022 NFL Draft. Fair?
Fair.
I was hoping we'd disagree a little bit, but
no,
clearly not.
Kirby to me, yeah, he checks all those boxes. I got no problem.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's funny because he was him and Jaquan were the two safeties.
Yep.
Two guys we kept putting in our mock drafts. It came to life. So no problem with Kirby. He's a home run.
All right, let's go to Detroit in the fifth round. James Mitchell.
Now this is where it gets a little dicey.
Could you have traded up? It's the fifth round. Ain't much here. Tyler Algier, I think the best player to come out in the fifth round of this draft class. Running back out of Atlanta. You go to the sixth round, Malcolm Rodriguez. Was he the best sixth round draft pick? That's a conversation I'm willing to have. Would I change it? No. Because the best player to come out of the sixth round was actually James Houston.
And Malcolm Rodriguez, you could argue,
it was number two.
And you took them both.
The Lions got the two best players in the sixth round, in my opinion. I don't think anybody has more upside or delivered as much day one other than Malcolm and James Houston in the sixth round of that draft class.
The only argument I would make,
go for it,
and they would have to trade up. So staying put, I think James Mitchell, I don't have an issue with it, but to know that Tariq Woolen went 20 picks earlier.
Where?
He was in the fifth round.
Oh, in the fifth. Well, they didn't have.
But they'd have to trade up. But again,
I can't with the James Mitchell.
Then never mind.
One.
Then I'm cool with James Mitchell. You nailed it. Afterwards, the only two picks you're interested in are James Houston and Malcolm. You got them both regardless. So.
And then in the seventh round, honestly, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't really either. So I mean,
to be honest with you,
yeah, Chase Lucas to me, he's
nice
fine.
kid.
Yeah,
dog in him. That's all great. Brock Purdy probably the best of the bunch. Not saying much.
Definitely.
But, maybe Isaiah Pacheco actually. He's got to be it.
Yeah.
I think if you were to vote, he would be the guy. But looking back, I think you're pretty happy with the NFL draft. I think you're happy. I don't think you have any regrets. A few things you'd like to reconsider. But I don't think you missed completely on any pick. And it's tough for me to say you missed on Pascal when everybody after him in the second round wasn't significantly better. Right? It's not like you missed on Kenneth Walker. And if Tariq Woolen was a second-round pick and you went after Josh Pascal, well, then, yeah, I would make the case. But I can't because he was a fifth-round pick. Fair?
And it was 20 picks above where you selected. So.
Fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough. Imagine that. Back-to-back drafts. You really don't have an issue with what Brad Holmes is doing. Isn't that new?
Well,
very new.
We didn't do 2021 last year, but there's a few.